listen, I like it. I think it's a good movie, but I won't say I'm a fan. It was very cold for me, like, in a way. I think it's got its merits. I think there's a lot of stuff that were very well done. I also think for the time that it came out, Kubrick and everything. But yeah, I'm not that big of a fan.
Got it. Because he had to right? He had to, he couldn't just do the Dr. Sleep book, because in that one, the Overlook Hotel's burnt down. Most of these people are killed by measles, the true knot. They get a sick, steam, I guess, vape. They vape.
Yeah. They eat someone and then,
and they all
measles.
start dying, and then they go back and just all that. Then you learn that Abra is like the niece of Danny, and it's kind of longer. But this one, he had to combine The Shining and Dr. Sleep. So he had to keep the Overlook open, and then he had to combine both and make both fans happy, and he succeeded, I think. I think fans of Stephen King loved it. I mean, Stephen King can't stop gushing about it. And then people who liked the original Shining, I think, got all the beats, like the music, the heartbeat score, the hotel, the same ghosts. So I think he hit all the bases on this. But that's got to be a sleepless year writing a script, just trying to figure out a way to balance it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I want to know, what is this guy like eating or consuming? Because it's just, I was very surprised, because I only watched the movie, in February this year? I couldn't watch it in the theaters last year for multiple reasons that I won't bore you with, but I actually felt very bad about it after I heard about it bombing at the box office. I was very mad at myself then, but anyway. So yeah, when I watched it, by then I've read that, oh wow, he married the two, the three basically, because it's Kubrick's version, King's version, and then his own. I love it that he still put his own mark on, onto it. It was just beautifully done. I loved how he pulled everything together and made it his own, but also honoring everything. And because I think, with something as legendary as The Shining, you can't just discard the fans. That would be, I think that would be arrogant in a way. But it's a fine line, because you can't just, we've seen this with pop culture in general. You can't just please the fans all the time, I actually, for instance, talking about, the differences between the book and the film, I had no problem with him keeping the whole, they're connected, there's a bloodline thing out of it. Because honestly, I think that would have felt way more to Star Warsy at this point anyways. So I'm actually glad he just kept that out, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
And, a lot was asked of Kylie Curran as Aberstone. This is one of her first movies, and I wouldn't have guessed that. I loved her performance in this movie, and I kind of, when she walked through Rebecca Ferguson's, I don't know,
little badass.
Yeah, what do you call it? Force projection or something? She just walked right through her. That made me so happy. And that's a tough role for a kid, I would say, but she pulled it off wonderfully. I dug it. I dug what she did in this film, and I liked her with Ewan McGregor a lot, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think she fitted into, she was great opposite Rebecca. She was great with Ewan. She really owned it. And she did it so naturally, which I love too. I really believed, ooh, this girl is a shiner.
Just the opening scene. Oh, you know what is one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when, in the beginning, when she does her abracadabra and she has the spoons hanging up to the ceiling. And then she kind of says something and then all the spoons fall. But that little shimmy that Rebecca Ferguson does when she feels the thing, it's just so it's so, it's a shimmy, right? Is it a little...
It's a little shimmy. It's a little with her back. I love it because she's acting with her back there. Yeah. This little back shimmy. I'm ooh.
I should write an article about that. Back acting.
Back acting, yes. No, very important.
I think John Travolta,
if you want to be taken seriously.
John Travolta's good in Saturday Night Fever. The way he walks and moves around. There's some good back acting there.
But listen, the way Rebecca moves in general, I mean, honestly, there where she, in the end at the Overlook Hotel, when she goes up the stairs, she just the movements in general was great in that movie. She's just fantastic.
She said she had a movement coach on this one. Mm. And so the movement coach that she had actually walked her through a lot of the, I guess to move around them, they wanted her to be kind of insect-like. to get all the stuff out of her. So she said that she adored the woman who did that. And you're right. Watching that staircase scene, I didn't even think about it. But in the original, it's Jack, Shelley Winters is walking back with the baseball bat, afraid of Jack. And in this one, it's Dan afraid of Rose. And I liked her menace in that. But I also think it's true. Like, their hubris got them killed. I think they're just so used to being all powerful. And they kind of got played in that. And I like it. I think that's the way you defeat these people, is by them just not. They're used to people being afraid. I don't think they're used to people being on the offensive against them. And that's kind of something I liked, how they fell apart when they were being attacked. I dug it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think also because when you're in power for so long, you kind of forget that you become arrogant. You don't realize that it's a weakness, really. So then the moment, listen, I'm not going to take your shit. Then,
And you're like, what? I'm not used to this.
Exactly. It's like, when people are like, oh, I'm not afraid. Yeah, you are. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. You will be exposed. And I kind of loved like the whole thing with Dan, having this fear. And then at the end of it, like coming to terms with, like it's a movie about life and death and mortality and loss. And it's all these themes just, again, like Flanagan just weaved it all together so beautifully, and still honoring Kubrick and still honoring King. I mean, we can go on and, we all know this, but I just love how Flanagan puts its mark on it because, like Hill House, all the stuff that he does, it's just, yes, like it's stuff that you can't stop thinking about, really. There's always something that you're like, oh yeah, I mean, that actually makes you think of, it makes your mind, and that's what I love about him, because he doesn't make us passive viewers, we're always engaged. He engages us, which, that is something I respect from filmmakers in general. Engage me. Don't treat me like I'm a dumbass, I can't stand that, honestly.
Yeah, he never you're right. And what's weird is you and I we absorb a lot of media and TV and movies. And I forget about most of the stuff I watch. But when I think about Oculus, just, I remember the opening scene of Karen Gillan walking and like her ponytail going back and forth. And then at the end, in front of the mirror, and at Hush, like the first view of the killer in Gerald's game, I have I don't know what that guy was, but like him looking at her, like that. Oh yeah. Some of his things and like Rose the Hat and they're kind of burned in my memory. And that's rare for me with movies. I say it's probably every 1 in 20 that I watch actually like think about a lot, because I just got to move on to the next thing. So yeah, I don't know, he does that. He does that really well.
He does that. But I think it's because he's so good into, like, he really climbs into the emotional pits of, being a human. Like, he gets stuff. He really gets it. Like, I think that's maybe the thing that impresses me the most about him is he gets, like, human existence and what it means to be a human, with our fears and our horribleness and our wanting to be good and our being sucky and everything, like the whole range. The deep range that, nobody really likes to talk about, I guess.
So we had a question in here. So Amanda Scoggins asked on Facebook, she's like, I would like to know why they went so much darker and less hopeful in the film than the book did with some of the character death choices. And then they wrote, I guess, like Kubrick did with The Shining as well. So in the book, Danny lives and he goes back to being Dr. Sleep. Oh, what a great scene when his first Dr. Sleep scene with the cat, right? That guy. Isn't that guy so good?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that actor. What a nice scene. Well, it's not he's dying, but he's like, hey, Doc. Oh man. All right. But I guess this movie, I think, kind of I think it sort of ties it together. Like, so he was helped by, Dick Halloran, and then Dick Halloran died. And then so he kind of does that for her. Like, he kind of passes on and sacrifices himself for her. So I guess it's a darker ending, but I don't know. Did this movie need to end with Danny dying? I think it's not bad. Like, he passes it on to her. She's the one who gets to look out for people now. And she's stronger than he was. So I think he set her up right. Like, that wasn't done for him. She teaches her to embrace her power. So I think that's a stronger ending maybe than keeping him alive. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think in the context of Dr. Sleep, I don't think it's so grim. Look, I mean, if he didn't die, it would probably still be fine. But I also like that thing of passing it along. And also I think, again, like for Danny, you know, he went through all this trauma and his whole life he struggled with it. And he was afraid of death and afraid of like, you know, like going there again and all these like difficult stuff that he needed to deal with all these ghosts haunting him and everything. And you know, like finding her, like, I think she taught him, well, even before that, because, yeah, when he's an orderly and everything, like, he learns empathy again, because I think this movie is plays a lot on empathy as well. And, you know, I think that's more of the thing where, yeah, he sacrifices himself, but he's being brave by doing that. Like, he's being braver than Rose or any of the True Knots ever could have been, you know? So, yeah, I didn't think it was that grim. It was sad. Look, Billy's death was sad for me.
Oh,
I mean,
hated that
poor guy. I mean, no, that was a death that I could have done without, honestly. Like, that was horrible.
But wasn't that because he's such a good dude. He takes Dan in. He gets him a job. Like, takes care of him. Then they go, like, he goes with him to go find the baseball boy body. But I did kind of like Snakebite Andy's laugh as she was dying. Like, that's so evil. Like, it's just such
yeah.
It's like she's like I hate men, and she was gonna kill him, and then she just gets that one last off, and I guess that visual is cool, but I love Billy. He was such a good dude.
Yeah, no, Billy was the best. I really, when that happened, no, no, let's reverse, let's change that.
Director's cut. Now, I do think he says the best use, he has the best usage of bonkers I've heard in years. When he's talking to Danny, they're gonna go dig up baseball boy with Abra leading him. He's like, if you're wrong about this, you're crazy. Like, you're nuts, and I can deal with that. But if you're right, like, bonkers. Like, that's
bonkers.
I could listen to Cliff Curtis say bonkers. That word needs to be used in more movies, I think.
I think so too.
But I thought, like, he went with them and told the hunting story, and then that hunting story ties in with them shooting them later. So, like, it's all kind of connected. There's not much, you know, this is a 2.5 hour movie, but it doesn't feel like do you think it feels like a 2.5 hour movie to you?
No, honestly, even the director's cut, I was like, more Dr. Sleep, yay. Like, it's so easy to watch. I mean, I read other people, you know, didn't care for how long it was, but I had no problem with it. It's fun. And that's actually saying a lot, because in general, I don't like movies that are longer than 2 hours. So, but yeah, this was something else. I could have 4 hours of this. Mike Flanagan, we can have 4 hours of Dr. Sleep. Thanks. Director's cut, take 2.
Yeah, the director's cut. Maybe we can invent that. So
there we go.
That answers the question. Johnny Numb, one of my, he's on this pod a lot, and he's like a great horror. He writes a lot about horror movies. Really great writer. He asked, which version do you prefer, a theatrical or director's? And I just want the director's. I want 4 hours of this. Like, give me more.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't care. Like, the theatrical cut was great too. It wasn't like so much worse for me than the director's cut. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, the director's cut is so much better. I was like, well, I felt what I needed to felt with the theatrical cut as well. So, but the thing of having more Dr. Sleep, yes, I'll always take that. Thank you very much.
Give me more souls and give me more fear. I'll take that.
You know, yeah, and give me more, just, yeah, and the dialogue is so good between everything, because I mean, I think it's such an interesting, like, story, really, because you've got the shine, and I think it can very easily come off as corny almost. Like, I can't think of a better word. Yeah. The shine. Ooh, you got the shine. But I mean, I think that's also because I've seen a lot of people ask, okay, but what exactly is the shine? And then people are like, oh no, it's like telepathy and clairvoyance and what. But I think it's so much more than that, because if you think about the movie, you know, it's just about the awareness, really, the ability to be aware of people around you and how they're doing and what they're feeling. Like how Billy tells Danny, he can just feel when someone's in need of help. You know, when Danny asks him, how did you know about me? And Billy was like, well, you know, I can just, and Billy wasn't even like he had the shine or anything, but because Dan also says some people don't even know that they have it, you know, but it's like that ability to know if someone's off or if someone's not doing okay. Like, I think it's, if you want to like bring it back to the real world, like what's the shine? It's very much just about having awareness, you know? And I mean, that also ties in for me with empathy, because I don't think you can have empathy if you don't have awareness. What do you, huh?
No, you're nailing it.
Right?